be saved again. So thank you for having me this morning, and it's a privilege for me to preach in front of you today. But before we move further this morning, I'd like to acknowledge all of you. You know, someone didn't remember that today is the last Sabbath of the year. Yeah? And as we come to the very last Sabbath of the year, I'm very glad to look at you here, and I know that you're doing a really hard job this year. And I know that I can't able to thank you enough for what you have done. In the Sabbath school, you know, our Pathfinder adventure, our JIDs, our sound system, Rex at the back, and also those of you at Hornby of what you have done. I saw Tom and Colleen and Andrea there. And if I miss someone, you know, I know that most of you, the treasurer, we have people coming in the morning and open the door and doing the setup. And there are a lot. These people down here in our music department, our drums and our keyboards. And also those of you who can involve in anything, but you are here every Sabbath. This is the reason why we are here standing in the front. We have to talk to someone. Yeah, we are not going to talk to the chairs or talk to the instrument or something, but when you are coming every Sabbath, God bless you. And I'd like to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You see, when we see the last verse, it was in my mind there, God, have your ways in me. And you know what it means God's way is? That it's His love. This is the 10 Commandments, having in me. That's what makes us stronger and stronger, because we have Jesus, that Jesus in us. And this is why we have the faith. That's why we have the strength to move on. You know, we are moving from the beginning of the year, and now we are coming to the end, the last Sabbath. You know, God is still there. God is still with you and with us. And no matter what happened to our life this year, we're so thankful to the Lord for what He has done for us. Yeah? When I had these people with their prayer requests, you know, families, individuals, you know, health, we have Caleb, we have Rex, and we have other people. We have Rachel, is that Rachel? And all others who came and they were struggling with their health this year. And see, I hope and I believe that the message that I prepared to bring this morning is something connected to this individual and family relationship. Those ideas, the struggle that you have in your life. And I believe that the short message that I prepared this morning will touch you. And I invite God to touch your heart this morning with all this, with this little short message that I prepared. You see, this morning, I didn't put anything on the screen because I'd like you to have your attention of what I am going to say, because it's very, very short and simple. And I'd like you to take this message as the end of the year message and a beginning of a new year message to each and every one of us. You see, I took this, the idea that I'd like to share this morning is coming from the book of Matthew chapter 8. You know, in the book of Matthew chapter 8, as well as the book of Luke, same story, and also a story in the book of Mark. Yeah, do you remember this story? And I know when I say it, everyone will know it. Yeah, this is a story about Jesus on the boat. And then he stopped the wind and the seas, and they are all what? Quiet. Yeah? Peace, be still. Yeah? So, Jesus, in the beginning of the book of Matthew chapter 8, the disciples and the people around, you know, they saw and they witnessed what Jesus has done in the midst of these people. He healed so many people. There is a leper. In the beginning of the story, there is a leper that Jesus healed by touching and then speaking. And then this leper was healed. The second story is about Jesus healed. Jesus healed. The third story is about Jesus heals. Jesus heals. He says, and then what happened? And someone was healed. And when it comes to this story of the boat, Jesus was a bit tired. He needs some rest. And then what happened? Then he asked his disciple, can we hop into the boat? And then we will travel from this side to the other side. And the story tells us that when he was on the boat, what happened to him is what? He was sleeping. And the history of this area, which is the Sea of Galilee, this is a big lake, the Lake of Gennesaret, the same area. It says that it was located on a valley, and that it seems to that winds and the sea, happen all in a moment that no one can able to dictate or no one can able to tell, because it happens all of a sudden. And you see, what happened in this story, that the disciple, what happened to the disciple, they were so afraid. They were so scared to death, you see. And then from this story, we learn from this story, when Jesus was awake, when they woke him up, and then he said, where is your faith? And then he calmed everything down, And then after he calmed the sea, they have the question in their mind and their hearts, and they say, who is this man? Who is this man? Remember the beginning of the story, that Jesus heals. They experience, they eyewitness of everything that Jesus has done in front of them. Something impossible that man can't able to do. No one can able to speak. We talk about the story of the centurion in the same story. And then the centurion was asking Jesus to heal his servant at home. And then Jesus says, okay, I will come and help you and heal your servant. And he said, no, you are not able to come to my home, Just say a word, and then my servant will be healed. And Jesus said, there is none in the whole of Israel at the time having the faith of this one man. You see what happened there? So after the storm, after the story, Jesus continued doing the healing and every other stuff. He healed the legion, the one who was having this demonic possessed. And you see, he heard about the story of the pigs. They were running into the lake, and they died. So it was known in this story here, if you remember, there is something called a sandwich. There's something that I can give to your attention this morning. There is something called a sandwich. See, from the beginning of chapter 8, we are talking about healing, and then we coming to a storm. And then after the storm, we have healing. So the storm was in between. So the same idea happened when this, remember this lady was touching the hem of Jesus' cloth? So Jesus was on his way. This is a story, begin with, that he is heading to heal someone in a home. And then while he was on his way, he was stopped in the middle of the story. The story changed. And then we have this lady touching the hem of Jesus' cloth. And then after that, the story saying that this lady was healed because of what? Because of her faith. Now we have, and then Jesus carry on, the story was carrying on to heal the other. So the same story, we find something a bit different. Jesus needs someone who have the faith of that lady. He needs someone in his disciple, his own followers, to have a faith like this lady on the other story. But what happened to them? Their faith was so weak. They witnessed, they see, and they were excited. And they said, man, this man. They never asked this question, who is this man? Who is this man in the beginning of the story? And when they come to the time, they are facing the difficulties in their life, they ask the question, who is this man? So they never have the faith enough to accept Jesus and trust him completely in their life. That's why Jesus was saying this, where is your faith? And the question that I'd like to ask for us and challenge us this morning is, where is our faith when it comes to our own storm? When it comes to our own difficulties in life? Where is our faith? There are something in our heart. I'd like to make an illustration here. So those of you, I'm not a good scientist, but I think Tom is one of them. So if we have a cup of oil, and we making a line at the oil level there, and then we need some juice, and we have to put it in, expecting that the juice and the oil will be occupy the same space. But what happened there when we dip the juice into the oil, what happened? There is something called displacement, is that right? So the juice will push up the oil. You see, it's either the oil cover this space or the juice. So when it comes to faith, there is something called fear. It's either we are afraid or we having the faith. So we can able to mix the faith and afraid or our fear in the same thing in our heart. So that's why we need our faith to be strong. That's why our songs are talking about having your ways in me. So having Jesus in us. How can we have Jesus in us? There's another question. People know how to put Jesus in their life. To put Jesus in our life is something that we can do in practice. We have to keep his commandment. John chapter 15, verse 10. When you have my commandment in you, I am automatically in you. That's what it means by abiding in Jesus. Because we are keeping the ways or the characters of Jesus. And this is how we have Jesus in us. And when we have a complete Jesus in us, our faith is covered the whole thing in our heart. And when fears come on its way to our life, it can able to push this faith out of us. It comes, it goes. It comes and it goes. When I heard you saying, I have some issue in my family. Some of us have the storm of a family issue now in this very house. Someone have a storm of someone in the family who's struggling with his health. This is our own individual storm, which is coming to our life today. And if we didn't have any healing coming to us, what it comes to us is fear. We are so discouraged in our life. Why? Because fear took over in our life. We can't able to do anything for these people. That's what we have to understand. We can't able to heal someone. Only Jesus does. And if we can't see any healing, we think that there will be no Jesus. I'd like to take you to the book of Hebrews chapter 1. You see, when you read the book of Hebrews 11, the book of Hebrews 11, it talks about faith. This is the chapter of faith. And you will see people with faith in there. And the first in the list is the name called Abel. And Abel is the son of who? Of Eve and Adam. Remember that they have sacrifice. Yeah? And then Abel followed the plan of salvation that I mentioned before. He followed the plan of salvation while Cain didn't follow the plan. He do his own thing to make up something for God. But God didn't accept it. So he accepted those people who follow him. Why I'm talking about Abel? Because he has the faith. But what? he died instantly because his brother murdered him. Now, there are times in our lives that we still have the faith and we die. But dying is not what it counts. Dying or lost from us, or we are lost from this life, we have faith, we are still living. That's the problem of us today because we always want a physical what? Healing. That's what we all need. We need our loved ones to go through the process of healing in the hospital and come out alive. That's what we need. And yes, this is what I need to when it comes to my family. But when we understand Jesus, when we understand Him completely in our life, we will be having the calm, the peace that Jesus had in our life. Remember that when He stands and He stopped the winds, and He stopped and He calmed down the water. You see, there are 4 people in the boat. They were the professional. They are the professional fishing people. We have Andrew and Peter. We have John and his brother. And see what happened there. They can't do anything at all. They are the experts in the area. They know everything because they may meet or face some difficulty like this before. But they can't able to calm down the sea and the storm. You know, they have to wake up someone. You see, our life, us in this life, we have expertise in our life. Some of you are scientists. Some of you are teachers. Some of you are, you can name it. Yeah. So you have an expertise. You know what to do. Your one. You experience. You know how to deal with what your area of expertise. The money side of it. You can deal with something. As a teacher, you know what you are doing. You have a plan. You have children to teach. And then everything there. But when it comes to a storm in life, your expertise, my expertise, and my experience can able to calm it down. The only one who can calm our storms in our life is Jesus alone. Even though that we can't see any cure or any healing, we can't see any solution of what we are facing in life. But those people who have the faith of Jesus, those people who have Jesus in their life, they can still going through this storm peacefully. They still patiently waiting and knowing that Jesus will calm it down. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not this year, but the coming year, He will calm it down. So we need to stay focused. Remember what this disciple was doing. Their focus was on Jesus when they saw Him healing someone. And their focus was in Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And when they face difficulties, their focus is what? Is move, was standing. Yeah, it's like a compass. Yeah? A compass was moving direction when the boat is traveling. Yeah? Their attention, their focus is moving out from Jesus. That's why that's why fear displaced their faith. They still have faith like us, but because of their fear, because of their focus has been moving from the source, that's why they were scared. Here on earth of us this year, maybe you came through a storm in your life this year. And maybe now you remember that you move your focus from Jesus. Yeah? But this year to the next year, if you always moving your focus away from the source, if you move your direction, your focus from Him this year, please. The challenge for us in the following year, the new year, is us moving our focus and dwell in Jesus, on Jesus, always. This is how we can calm our storm. Most of our storms and most of our problems in life, we can't able to what? To control. We have no control at all. Some we can, but not fully. Some we can, but most of them are out of control. That's why we have peace in Jesus. That's what his peace was all about. Is something that we focus. Our mind has been focused on him. Maybe someone will say, now, I always focus on Jesus, but I still fail. Maybe you are not focused enough. So focus in Jesus is something that we accept. We will accept what is good, and also we can still accept what is not. This is what it means by focus. Focus is not accept the good part of it and then fall off when it comes to the negative side of it. So focus in Jesus is no matter whether you are in calm period of your time and peaceful time in your life or in the problematic time of your life. Focus will always be there. So this is what I'd like to share this morning. And I hope that this very short message of mine that I have this morning, that in the beginning of the following year, please focus in Jesus. That's the only thing that it will unite us together as a church. We have a church storm right now because we are looking for a transition period. Our band has been moving. We can't bring him again this year or next year. This is our storm of a church. But if we focus on human being, what happened to our church will be going down there. Even though that we have a new leader coming, or any leader will come to lead us, he is only a leader together with you, with the leader, focusing on Jesus. He is the one who will lead us from the beginning of a new year to another year. Our focus will never, ever taken away from Jesus. So please, if you want unification, if you want people to come in the morning and in the evening or any time to feel our church, our focus will always be one. There will be no more focus on any earthly, materialistic, or any human being, or any leader, or any pastor. Our focus together with our leaders will be in Jesus. So thank you very much for your attention. And I know that in this morning that God has been filled our homes and our hearts. Fear is gone. Faith in Jesus is coming to you and to all of us. Amen.